Liverpool have restored Jamie Redknapp to their starting lineup in midfield, and Mark Walters. They replace Thomas and Bjornaby, probably meaning that it's also they'll not have the three centre-backs. Phil Babb will play either at left-back or wing-back, as they call them these days. Palace, meanwhile, without two key players, leading striker Chris Armstrong, who's suspended, midfielder Ricky Newman, an ankle injury. Palace manager Alan Smith decided to play three at the back and five in the midfield. And away we go then, with Palace in the yellow strip attacking the goal to our right. Up to Priest. Touch for Rush. Jamie Redknapp. This is Rob Jones. Palace getting the ball away into touch for a throw. Wembley then, 180 minutes away. The referee Robbie Hart of Darlington. Place in Europe, of course, beckoning beyond that. John Barnes' ball given away there. Salako quickly onto it. Here's Damien Matthew. And it just came off Relic's head for a corner now for Crystal Palace.
I think that incident there, the forced error by John Barnes, emphasises what Palace are going to do tonight. They're going to crowd, hustle and flood midfield.
Damage limitation exercise in this away leg, knocked away that time by Phil Babb. Barnes getting in there as well. Here's Darren Pitcher with a long-range shot charged down there by Babb. Humphrey playing it wide to the Palace captain Gareth Southgate. Barnes of Southgate. In a way really to know quite where to pitch the prospects for this Cup semi-final. Liverpool, remember, demolished Crystal Palace 6-1 on the opening day of the season down at Selhurst Park, and Palace came here in December and got a very good goalless draw. My goodness, that result would suit them tonight.
That's the thing, what they would like to do, Palace, very much is to pen Liverpool in their own half of the field, not let people like McManaman particularly get a run. It looks very much as if Darren Pitcher's going to be given the responsibility of making sure that McManaman doesn't pick up the balls in that little free position he occupies and run at defenders.
Good jump there by Patterson. Patterson, in fact, who's playing in the centre of the middle three at the back for Crystal Palace. He's been playing at right back. Richard Shaw playing on the right of their back three. Yes, Alan Smith, the Palace manager, was telling me this morning the one they've got to stop is McManaman, and that Pitcher would be the man given that responsibility. They're frightened of his devastating runs from the midfield. Here's Humphrey and Ruddock. In goes Matthew again. Big John Scales. Pitcher jumping there against McManaman. Scales again, who scored against Queen's Park Rangers on Saturday. Rob Jones plays it inside. Jamie Redknapp to John Barnes. Babb. Walters stopped by Humphrey. Matthew again banging the ball clear for Crystal Palace. Both sides defend well. Even with 6 conceded on the opening day, Crystal Palace still have a defensive record that I fancy would put them somewhere in the top 6 in the Premiership. Both sides, though, of late been very shy about scoring. So I think we can look forward, Ron, to a really tough, tense cup-tie night with a lot of skill about it. Here's McManaman, and Pitcher you could see right at his back. Redknapp didn't start the game against Queen's Park Rangers, did Redknapp. Here's Salako. Liverpool will have tremendous respect for him. Matthew. It wide on the far side, Dean Gordon. And Mark Walters tucking in on the left of the Liverpool defence.
Going to be some very, very interesting tactical battles, isn't there? I mean, Walters has got more or less a very defensive responsibility. He's expected to get up and down the left-hand side, but also to defend when Humphreys tries to force the issue from a full-back position.
touch on by Rob Jones. Southgate up to Andy Priest. From free, he'll have to be quick. That's Rush's trademark, not only scoring goals but getting into that sort of position and dispossessing men when they think they've got time. Pitcher on the far side getting it away.
Well, that emphasises it, Bryony. Many times it's been said about Ian Rush, he's probably the best defender in the forward positions.
Absolutely right. Up to Priest. Down the line, there's nobody much in a yellow shirt there. Sulako's trying to make up ground, but big David James gets it clear. Scales versus Priest. Priest forcing them through again to Matthews, certainly seeing plenty of work, and Sulako offside, disputing that with the linesman. There's no point in that.
There is no point because he was offside.
Absolutely.
And unnecessary so, actually, because John Sulako, in a good position, looking along the line, could have just held his run a little bit. But I think you've seen there as well, Palace are prepared to throw the ball over the back of the Liverpool defenders, knowing full well that both Priest and particularly Sulako have got good pace.
Fowler's done well. He's got the ball through to McManaman. Allison did well also. Gets it to Southgate. Southgate with Priest head down, charging, but Babb is in command here. Babb's back pass, and Sulako! And he's taken it too wide, but there was a wonderful chance just for a moment there. With Babb's mistake and Sulako pouncing on it, and usually his control is so good. This was a devastatingly poor.
Yeah, he's read the script there. It's a bad back pass from Babb. There, all of a sudden, he's done quite well without diving at his feet there as the goalkeeper, James. But once he gets here, Sulako really ought to have scored. Composure's first touch isn't that bad, and overruns it, because even though he's a left...
Shouting that he wants him to keep the ball wide and to keep it away from Ruddock. James with the clearance. Coleman. Here's McManaman. Playing the side there. And a great shot there by Rob Jones. Not amongst the goal scorers this season, but he met that one with a very healthy strike.
Good intelligence from McManaman. Here he goes. Pushes the defender back, shapes for a cross. Typical Liverpool fashion, cuts it to the edge of the box. They don't overcross the ball and never have done, Liverpool. And he wasn't a million miles away from that, was Rob Jones. Palace themselves do represent a threat, both in Sulako and Priest.
Foul on him. Ian Rush, in fact, who needs just 2 goals to equal Jeff Hurst's record of 49 goals in this League Cup competition. 4 winners' medals to his credit too, back in 81, 82, 83 and 84 when Liverpool won 4 on the bounce at Wembley. Oh, Redknapp's available to the right, but it's Ruddock playing it now for Walters, who in anything was a little bit back on his heels, which Humphrey wasn't. Walters. There's his shot, deflected off pitcher. Another corner. More pressure. More problems. And Palace with 9 back in their penalty area.
I always think Mark Walters, if you're playing against him on this side of the field, on the left-hand side, you're better to try and push him on the outside.
Ruddock and Scales there again, making a dive towards the near post. It might come for Barnes. In the end, it's Matthew who gets it away to Priest, but he hits it straight at Babb. Foul on a free kick again to Liverpool. Foul on Redknapp by Sulako.
I'm a little bit surprised at Liverpool once or twice trying those short, intricate free kicks from areas where they could lide the ball in, because for a long time Liverpool never had the artillery they've got now, sort of the Ruddocks, the Scales. Barnes is excellent in the air rush. No, I would have thought it was well worth them sticking a few in there at this, early doors.
Here's McManaman, and now Rob Jones, the fullback. Played in nicely for Redknapp. Just wide. There was a great chance there.
Well, that's an absolute dolly miss by young Jamie Redknapp. Beautiful build-up, nice little ball inside here from McManaman. Here to Jones, ever ready to step forward. Gets a little runner, great diagonal run from Redknapp. Should really put them in the lead.
Halfway through the first half, Salako knocking that one in for the head of crease. And here's Babb. Taking it away from Humphrey. Now Humphrey's got to get back and challenge Walters. Barnes. Babb. Fowler. And Walters. Oh, he's gone past Humphrey. Played it in. Wasn't the best of crosses, and Nigel Martyn was very alert.
I think, in all fairness, Brian, I think that Mark Walters will have thought, go on Fowler, go on Ian Rush. He's teased that into a danger zone, you know, and what's happening, there's nobody really attacked the near post.
Here's Mark Walters. Swift challenge, a sure challenge by Shaw. Another Liverpool corner. I think John Humphrey is going to get a yellow card for dissent.
That was all very unnecessary, I would imagine.
They are stupid yellow cards. There's no point in arguing. You know what's going to happen. Just store up trouble for yourselves. That's a back heel by Rush. Oh, and a lovely tip over by Nigel Martyn.
That's a great recovery save, because Nigel Martyn gets himself into all sorts of problems on the original ball. It actually started to come for the cross, and he's had to make good ground. That's a remarkable, as I say, recovery save. Thought he made an error in judgment of trying to come for the cross, but obviously in windy conditions like this, it's going to be very difficult to judge.
Here comes another corner. More problems. Shaw got that away, or rather pitcher. Ruddock in there, an overhead kick. Coleman gets that one clear. Played in again. Matthew helping out. Comes to McManaman for Liverpool. Barnes. And now Walters. Oh, he's taking it through the legs of Humphrey this time. He's having a real tough time of it. This time it's a goal kick. Having a stormy night, John Humphrey. He's finding Mark Walters so elusive, and he's got a yellow card already.
Two defenders with yellow cards, like Coleman, who's trying to stay right against the back of Ian Rush. Now Humphreys against Walters. They've already lost the psychological battle. They know they can't really afford to make one misjudged challenge now.
Through the legs it goes. McManaman, time added on. Humphrey getting it away. Up to Crease. Towards Salako, but Ruddock doing a good job there. Matthew just flicking it through to Gareth Southgate. The long ball now for Salako. Counter punch perhaps from Crystal Palace. Salako onto that left foot. Could be a problem here. Oh my goodness, it went off the crossbar and across the face of the goal from Gordon. And Palace could so easily, in the last seconds of the first half, gone in the lead. That's got the Liverpool crowd roaring. McManaman.
I don't think could have's the word, Brian. I think they should have done. Desperately unlucky with Salako's first effort, but Dean Gordon will be horrified by the miss he's had.
McManaman. Cross there. Rush almost got in, but some excellent defending by Richard Shaw. Another throw for Liverpool. Salako, the deflection was a wicked one, and it rattled against the Liverpool crossbar as the whistle goes for half-time. Here we are. There was the deflection. James had given it up. Dean Gordon comes in. The goal, it seemed at his mercy, and Liverpool escape.
I must admit, when it hit the bar and came off to Dean Gordon, I thought, well, that's just a nod in. Go on, put that one in. But full marks to Salako. They're great running across the line. A little bit concerned about the way he took Ruddock on, though. Took him off came on his weak side.
Right. There was a dramatic finish to the end of the first half. 0-0, the situation then here at Anfield. So what do you foresee now in the second half? Ron, what are you looking for now?
Well, I think that I'd like to see Crystal Palace, as I say, they've defended in numbers, they've blocked things off. I'd like to see them try and get just a little bit more support up to the front too. I think they could give, I mean, they run the risk of opening up space for the Liverpool creative players, but they would give themselves a better chance of winning the game. Although the scoreline, if it stays like this, will more than satisfy the Palace contingent.
Well, here we go then for the start of the second half. Ruddock heading it down to McManaman. Don't have to tell you that Darren Pitcher's right on his tail. It's Dean Gordon. To Southgate. Some hustling going on there this time by Liverpool. Redknapp getting in very quickly. Ruddock playing it wide to McManaman. Down in front of the Kop. Now we'll see to a course.
I think he's looked right dangerous when he's gone onto this right wing, played in the position he more or less first came into the team.
In fact, they've looked very dangerous down both flanks, haven't they? Walters has been inspired tonight against John Humphrey. And there's Walters with a header. Getting it away. Ruddock backpedaling. And the throw goes to Crystal Palace. Free. Just in towards Priest. My goodness me, that was a terrific chance there for Andy Priest. He got in ahead of John Scales.
Well, it's a good quality ball in. We've talked about his defensive deficiency, but he can deliver a good ball, Humphreys. And as you say, got first run across the defender. John Scales flat-footed there. Really, once again, maybe a better situation than the one Ian Rush in that.
The minutes will be dragging for that bench, you can be sure. Here's Babb. Walters versus Humphrey. Got in quickly. Solarco just nicking that on for Priest. Priest doing the sensible thing of playing it back to John Solarco. The yellow shirts are coming up fast, Southgate amongst them. And that was a poor ball in. And really it gives Liverpool a chance on the break now. Rush with Fowler up there, with McManaman up there, and with Redknapp in there. Here's Redknapp. Came off the defender, Patterson for the corner. Palace had suddenly pushed everybody up there, and the ball in from Solarco just wasn't good enough. Here's the corner. Ruddock leaping for this one. Walters on the far side. Fowler couldn't get onto it. McManaman can't get onto it. And Redknapp, he'll dink another little cross in. He does. Ruddock was racing in there, but couldn't get a touch.
I think full marks to Humphreys there. He just did enough to steer Big Razor Ruddock from getting a clear header on that one. It's a lovely inviting ball from Jamie Redknapp. He shaped this one in lovely, and I bet Ruddock's thinking, go on, I'm in on this one. And you've just gone out of picture, but Humphreys has just put his body in enough to prevent Ruddock getting a full header on it.
Good spell this for Liverpool.
Yeah, they're turning the screw a little bit at the moment.
Here's McManaman, getting the better of Pitcher. Oh, getting the better of them all, but Pitcher's coming back for some more. Martin can't get there, and in the end, it was Shaw who knocked it away. Jones will keep it back in there. Robbie Fowler, and Shaw again who gets it clear, but Babb with that header. Matthew with the header, but didn't really get a touch on it. Redknapp being pursued by Southgate. Barnes then going round Matthew. Still with Barnes. Getting it wide for McManaman. Driven across the face of the goal. And Rush can't quite get in the end of it, but they get another corner. Unrelenting pressure now from Liverpool.
Yes, there's going to have to be an awful lot of mental strength now. They've shown a good commitment, Palace, but now is the real testing time.
Here comes the corner. Just listen to the Kop. Scales is poised, Ruddock is poised with a header, but it was a poor one by Ruddock. Goal kick. was the scramble we had just a moment or two ago. Barnes coming in. McManaman came off Coleman.
On a bad day, you know, Brian, when things are going against you, that deflects into its own net, doesn't it? That's
For anybody really at the moment, it's being played now at an increasingly furious pace. And you can hear the Liverpool fans around the ground. Attack, 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 attack. Oh, that's just what McManaman's doing now. Palace backpedaling again. Pitcher's going with him, but he gets a great cross in there. Rush went up for that one, but he's gone away for the goal kick.
Oh, that's brilliant wing play by McManaman. Picked up the ball, took it right to the dead ball out and whipped in a glorious cross. That's a glorious cross. Look at that. Rush, you just can't meet it square on.
They kept Shaw at the back, Pitcher at the back, and Humphrey at the back. No need to go mad pushing too many people forward. 11 Liverpool corners and 4 for Palace. And James, a good safe catch. And a good throw. Sending a long stride of Phil back down into the Palace half of the field. Here's Walters, cutting inside this time. Faced by Matthew, still with Bagg. They'll look for a good cross here. Down and over by Jamie Redknapp. So a free kick, or rather goal kick to Crystal Palace. Ball is going up and over. Southgate, Salako in behind them. It's a shot, and James down.
When he drifts down that inside right channel and cuts back on his favourite left foot. Hard for defenders to pick him off when he drives inside, and almost catches the keeper by surprise. Actually, he thinks he was going wide. Surprised me that. I thought it was well on target.
Walters. Graham. Oh, can Fowler get in behind him here? Good save by Martin. Well, the keeper's brought into action at both ends. Fowler in behind the defence there.
That's a great save.
Excellent save.
Because he hasn't done much wrong there, Fowler.
And a corner then for Liverpool. Mark Walters will take it. Good work by Nigel Martin. And more to be done, you fancy. Floated in there towards Scales. A good fist away by Martin. Walters again. Fowler's touch. And another good save by Martin, that time from Jamie Redknapp. Well, 3 excellent piece of goalkeeping there by the big Cornishman, 28-year-old Nigel Martin.
Yeah, where he's done well on this one. He could have made up his mind to go away, to go one way and be beaten by the deflection. It's been a bit of a luxury if anybody's had time to dwell on the ball.
Matthew in for Salako, run across his back. Phil nicely at his feet, cuts inside again, there's his cross. Scales had to be there to get that one away. Matthew with a shot, good save again by James. This is a good cup tie.
The pendulum swings, and you keep thinking, all right, Liverpool are starting to boss the game, they're in control, they're starting to grow, and all of a sudden 3 or 4 lightning counter-attacks from the Palace, and you're beginning to wonder which side will what to do now. The game goes on longer.
Quarter to 5. Up to Fowler. Matthew that time. Have you thought about man of the match? Don't tell me yet, but have you thought about it?
Yeah.
It's Rush, and now it's Jones. Quickly challenged by Gordon. The free kick though, for the challenge by Gordon on Rob Jones. Well, it's these sort of situations now that Liverpool have got to make count. Palace have pulled now everybody except Solarco back behind the ball. Redknapp is the one who will tease it in there, and he's done just that. Oh, just over the top from Scales. I think it was Patterson who completely missed his header.
I think that was the thing that put Scales off. I don't think for a minute he thought it was coming through the gap. I mean, it's actually caught him on the shoulder, Scales. But, I mean, they do have the artillery. I just think they're a bit close in. He tries to sneak around the back there, Scales. But I actually do think the Liverpool attacking players, and by that I mean the Ruddocks, are a little bit close on the kicker. I think they should be starting the run a little bit wider. Because I don't think many defenders would fancy the side of Ruddock, of Scales, and the likes of that pounding in at them.
Palace player John Humphrey is down. The referee thinks he's play acting and the game goes on. Walters. Bad plays it in. Palace get it away, but only as far as Jamie Redknapp. Humphrey is up again, trying to get back, hobbling McManaman. And Dean Gordon gets that away. It's bad. On for the goal kick. So the goal kick then to Crystal Palace. Inside the last 2 minutes. The man of the match then, Ron?
Well, for me it was a toss-up. First half Walters did exceptionally well, but it was a toss-up for me in the course of the game between the threat of McManaman. But I think Solarco's had a great game. Solarco, he's run unselfishly. He's shown a lot of skill. I mean, I've never seen him sort of put himself or involve himself in a game so much as this. I mean, he's probably come, well, he has definitely come the closest to scoring at the time we're going to press. With that shot against the crossbar right on half-time. But here come Liverpool. They're still looking for that lead to take to the second leg. A shot by Mark Walters. That's what I don't think you can let Walters do. You can push him infield, round about the halfway line areas, and just push him across your midfield. But in the last third of the field, I think you've got to edge him out. He loves that cutting in and letting things rip off his right foot.
Solarco with the header for Priest. Priest getting it back now for Humphrey. Played down the line and says to Liverpool, right, you go and get that one, and you've got to get it back into our half. And time is running out quickly now, as you can see. We're in the last half minute. There'll be a little bit of time to add on, but not a lot.
I mean, it doesn't half, whatever the scoreline is now, it doesn't half add to a second, the semi-final, doesn't it? The second leg.
Yes, that's next Wednesday night. It should be another very, very tense occasion in South London. But Palace have had such a good record in the Coca-Cola Cup this season. Victories against Lincoln, against Wimbledon, against Villa, the holders, and Manchester City. But here's Scales. Liverpool still searching for that goal. McManaman. I think Pitcher will have McManaman in his nightmares for a week or two after this. That's a throw to Palace. Time added on. Can't be a lot of it. Priest holding off bad and doing it very well. Pitcher at last with a bit of space of his own, playing it down the line for Dean Gordon. And here come Liverpool again. The last seconds. It's with Scales. Palace fans are whistling. They're trying to get that final whistle blown. Jones to Rush. It just can't get in there. And in the end, quick thinking and quick feet of Nigel Martin.
He's probably entitled to feel that as well, isn't he? wasn't an intended back pass, but that's the dilemma goalkeepers face. They have to make an instant decision.
Couldn't be sure whether that would have been construed by the referee as a back pass, but he just couldn't take a chance at this stage of the game. Ruddock, Scales, referee looking at both linesmen. Played nearly 2 minutes of time added on. Fowler getting it down the line. McManaman having one last burst down that flank, and it's across the goal there, and it's in by Fowler. 2 minutes of time added on, and all Palace's brave defending in the end comes to nothing. McManaman, the architect again, has been threatened to be all night.
The threat's been on there all along. They've tried this move a dozen times where Jones just lofts it over the back, over the defender. Quality balling. Rush just sits across it, and there's Fowler, a natural predator.
And that's with over 2 minutes of time added on. Something the Kop and Liverpool fans have been waiting for all night, the ball nestling in the back of the Crystal Palace net. It's tough on Palace, who've defended with such resolution for so long. What a cruel game it is sometimes. But there's still a second leg to be played. Nigel Martyn now. Hitting it long. Greece.
Brian, they've got to pick themselves up, draw breath and say, all right, if it's 1-0, it's 1-0. That's not a disaster for them.
Certainly mustn't do anything stupid or take serious chances now. They've got to just keep really tight. It can't be more than a few seconds left. Southgate going in there. And he's spotted Humphrey on the far side. Good ball. Referee looking at the watch. The cross coming in towards Greece. Matthew. The final whistle goes. A dramatic finish to the first leg of this Coca-Cola Cup semi-final. Robbie Fowler with 2 minutes of injury time played at the end of 90 minutes. After Palace had defended so well for so long and had threatened once or twice in their own right. It's Fowler who makes it 1-0 and who really sets up a fantastic second leg down at Selhurst Park a week tonight. Terrific goalkeeping by Nigel Martyn, beaten at the last by Robbie Fowler. And 1-0 to Liverpool is the story at Anfield tonight.